Habits Revolution, a new approach to personal development. Chapter 2, Understanding Habits. Your net worth to the world is usually determined by what remains after your bad habits are subtracted from your good ones. Benjamin Franklin. Habits. We all have them, whether we realize it or not. Some are good, like brushing your teeth or working out, while others are not so good, like biting your nails or procrastinating. But what exactly are habits, and why do they matter so much? Well, first of all, let's define what we mean by habits. Habits are like the autopilot mode of your brain. They're the things you do automatically, without even thinking about them. Habits are your brain's way of conserving energy and making your life easier. After all, who wants to waste valuable brain power deciding whether or not to brush their teeth every morning? But here's the thing about habits. They can be sneaky little devils. You might not even realize you have a habit until someone points it out to you. For example, you might not realize you always twirl your hair when you're nervous until your best friend says, "Hey, why do you keep playing with your hair like that?" So why do habits matter so much? Well, habits can have a big impact on your life, both positively and negatively. Positive habits like exercising regularly or meditating can help you feel better, improve your health, and achieve your goals. Negative habits like smoking or eating junk food can have the opposite effect, leading to health problems and making it harder to achieve your goals. The good news is that habits can be changed. It's not always easy, but it is possible to replace bad habits with good ones. You just have to be willing to put in the effort and stick with it. So, how do you go about changing a habit? Here are a few tips. Identify the habit. The first step is to identify the habit you want to change. Be specific. What exactly do you want to stop doing or start doing? Start small. Changing a habit can be overwhelming, so it's important to start small. Focus on one habit at a time and break it down into manageable steps. Replace the habit. It's not enough to simply stop doing a bad habit. You need to replace it with a positive one. For example, if you want to stop biting your nails, try chewing gum instead. Stay accountable. Changing a habit is easier when you have support. Share your goal with a friend or family member, or join a group or community that shares your goal. Be patient. Changing a habit takes time, so be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you slip up. Just get back on track and keep moving forward. In conclusion, habits are like little autopilot modes that can either help or hinder your progress in life. By identifying and changing negative habits and cultivating positive ones, you can improve your health, achieve your goals, and become the best version of yourself. So go ahead and put on your habit, changing superhero cape. Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into, but hard to get out of. Anonymous quote. You know that feeling you get when you reach for a cookie without even thinking about it? That's your habit brain at work. Habits are like little gremlins in your brain that control your behavior without you even realizing it. But how do these sneaky little creatures form in the first place? Well, it all starts with a cue. Let's say you're feeling stressed at work, so you reach for a chocolate bar to help you cope. The stress is the cue, and the chocolate is the reward. Your brain starts to associate the stress with the chocolate, and before you know it, you formed a habit. But why do habits form in the first place? It all comes down to efficiency. Your brain is wired to conserve energy, so it's always looking for ways to automate your behavior. Once a behavior becomes a habit, your brain can go on autopilot, conserving energy for more important things, like figuring out why your coworker always eats tuna fish for lunch. But here's the thing about habits. They're not always good for you. Sure, reaching for a chocolate bar might make you feel better in the moment, but it's not exactly the healthiest coping mechanism. That's why it's important to understand the science of habits and how to break the bad ones. Breaking a bad habit is like trying to evict a gremlin from your brain. It's not easy, but it is possible. Here are a few tips. Identify the cue. The first step in breaking a habit is to identify the cue that triggers the behavior. Is it stress, boredom, or something else? Once you know the cue, you can start to break the habit loop. Change the routine. Once you've identified the cue, you need to change the routine or behavior that follows. Instead of reaching for a chocolate bar when you're stressed, try going for a walk or taking a few deep breaths. Find a new reward. The final step is to find a new, positive reward that replaces the old habit. Maybe instead of the chocolate bar, you treat yourself to a relaxing bubble bath or a phone call with a friend. Breaking a bad habit takes time and effort, but it's worth it in the end. By understanding the science of habits and how they're formed, you can take control of your behavior and create positive changes in your life. Plus, think of all the energy you'll save once you're no longer on autopilot. In conclusion, habits are like little gremlins. But with a little knowledge and effort, you can break the bad ones and cultivate positive habits that support your goals and aspirations. So go ahead and evict those pesky habit gremlins. Your brain will thank you. Good manners will open doors that the best education cannot. Quote from Clarence Thomas, "Habits, they're like the spices of life. Some are sweet and enjoyable, like a daily cup of coffee or a nightly bubble bath. But what exactly are the different types of habits, and how do they impact our lives? Let's take a closer look. Personal habits. Personal habits are the ones that affect our physical and mental well-being, like exercising, eating healthy, and getting enough sleep. These habits are like the salt and pepper of life. Just a little bit can make a big difference in how we feel. Productivity habits. Productivity habits are the ones that help us get things done, like planning, organizing, and prioritizing. These habits are like the paprika of life. They add a little kick to our routines and help us accomplish our goals. Social habits. Social habits are the ones that impact our relationships and interactions with others, like listening, being punctual, and showing gratitude. These habits are like the cinnamon of life. They add a little sweetness to our interactions and make us more enjoyable to be around. Bad habits. The bad habits. These are the ones that can have a negative impact on our lives, like smoking, overeating, or procrastinating. These habits are like the jalapeno peppers of life. They may give us a quick thrill, but in the end, they can leave us feeling burned. So, how do we deal with these different types of habits? Well, for the personal and productivity habits, it's all about balance. Too much salt or paprika can be overwhelming, but just the right amount can enhance the flavor of our lives. Similarly, too much exercise or productivity can lead to burnout, but just the right amount can help us thrive. As for social habits, they're like the icing on the cake of life. Sure, you can have a cake without icing, but it's so much better with it. And the same goes for our relationships. Sure, we can get by without showing gratitude or being punctual, but life is so much sweeter when we do. And what about the bad habits? Well, they're like the ghost peppers of life. They may seem exciting at first, but in the end, they'll leave you feeling scorched. Breaking a bad habit takes time and effort, but it's worth it in the end. Plus, think of all the extra flavor you can add to your life once you're free from the ghost peppers of bad habits. In conclusion, habits are like the spices of life. They can add flavor and excitement or leave us feeling burned. By understanding the different types of habits and their impact on our lives, we can cultivate positive habits and break the bad ones, leading to a more flavorful and enjoyable life. So go ahead and spice things up. Just make sure to avoid the ghost peppers. Others are more pungent, like biting your nails or procrastinating until the last minute. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification icon for us to let you know when the video of the next chapter is ready.